Well, a Columbia woman is behind bars after police say she hit a child with her car late last night. 56-year-old Garnitra Whitaker has been charged with hit and run, driving under suspension, and failure to render aid. Police say Whitaker was driving a van at the intersection of Two Notch and Taylor Street around 8 when she hit the girl and drove off. Police later found the 2003 Kia Sedona minivan Whitaker is accused of driving at the Gonzalez Gardens apartments late last night. The child suffered abrasions and a broken leg. Well, the search is now over for a missing Columbia woman. Police say 35-year-old Jillian Snyder was found in Lexington County this morning. They say she's okay, and her family actually filed a missing persons report after she didn't come home, after they didn't hear from her last weekend. Lexington County Sheriff's deputies are asking for your help identifying a shoplifting suspect. Investigators are looking for this man here, who they say stole from the Palmetto State Armory on Fernandina Road last week. They say he stole more than $450 worth of items, including fishing line and shirts. He's believed to be 30 to 35 years old. They say he left the store as a passenger in an older dark four-door car. And anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC. Well, in Lexington, a man has been arrested for trying to have sex with a minor using social media sites. Jason Glenn Jordan is charged with 1 count of criminal solicitation of a minor and 2 counts of decimation of obscene material to a minor 18 years or younger. Prosecutors with the state's Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force say Jordan solicited sex from a minor by social media and sent sexually explicit images. They say he is a registered sex offender. He's facing as a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison for each charge. Well, there's nothing like coming home and wrapping yourself in the arms of a loved one or a bizarre-looking chair. Check this out. This chair hugs you back. A South Korean designer created a furry sofa with soft, flexible arms, which are meant to give the feeling of being held by a loved one. Stretched out, the chair looks like a person waiting to hug you. The creator says the sofa gives the feeling of being alive, and it will hold you warm and soft like your mother, friend, or a lover without feeling lonely. And the free hug sofa took 2 years to create. So look at that. That's a lot of snuggling right there.
That's a lot of snuggling. Here's my only question though. If you buy that, are you just giving up on ever finding a partner? You know what I mean? Like you're just like, you know what, my chair is all I need.
Combine that with Netflix, then yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
that might be
good
that
combo. You never have to leave the house again.
Never have to leave the house.
Get that.
News 19's Loren Thomas is now live for us. Loren, you are there. What do you see?
Well, guys, when we pulled up, there were actually people who were coming out of the mall still, and they were being asked to put their hands up as officers checked them to see if they had any weapons on them. From the people that were inside, they said they heard shots around 7 o'clock this evening, just about an hour ago. And they heard the shots. Some people were trapped inside of their businesses, the Regis Hair Store. We actually spoke to an owner or a person that works there. She said she just now got a chance to come out because they were searching the area, searching inside the mall to make sure that the person who had fired these shots wasn't still in there. We're unsure right now if they have made their way out and if they were able to get the person who did fire shots inside of the mall, but we do know hundreds of people inside the mall tonight. And now, as you can see behind me, there's a stream of cars kind of trying to make their way out so that so this area can get clear. That's what officers are doing right now, is trying to clear this scene and to make sure that that no one is in harm's way, just in case the person is still inside of the mall. So right now, limited information, but we do know shots were fired earlier today, or excuse me, at 7 o'clock this evening, just before the polls closed, actually.
Columbia community is looking for the city's help in creating more recreational opportunities for their kids in their neighborhoods. Several residents spoke out at tonight's city council meeting. News 19's Loren Thomas was there and has more on what it is they're looking for.
And our kids need some help.
James Sanders and Anthony Sanders, along with members of the Local Organizations Committee, or LOC, say there needs to be a safe and updated space for children to play in their neighborhood.
They've been promising us something every year, and it seems like it never comes.
I mean, it's pitiful that I've been crossing this same ditch 30 years ago to come to the same park. We ain't upgraded. We depreciated.
The baseball field near the Colony, Bethel, Bishop, and Bayberry communities isn't very easy to get to, and while it is a place where teams practice, at this time there's no water fountain, places to house equipment, or a place to use the bathroom.
Where is the lights? Where is the proper seating? So when you go into the other communities, right, see, they give us the little rubbish. We're not settling for that anymore.
Gerald Hamid and other LOC members took their concerns to the Columbia City Council, requesting funding help for their neighborhood.
We need help.
The interim director of Parks and Recreation for the city says there are plans to make changes to the baseball facility.
We're going to meet with them in the very near future to lay out a plan of actions to see what we can do to revitalize that park to ensure that it's in a safe, playable condition.
Sanders says the more activities the children have in the neighborhood, the less trouble they'll likely get into.
We need our children to have a chance before they wind up in jail on a large bond or being incarcerated.
In Columbia, Loren Thomas, News 19, WLTX.
Well, no word yet on when the city will be going out to the Bethel Bishop baseball field or how much it will cost to make those upgrades that the park needs.
Rundown properties, absentee landlords, and tenants who don't take care of their rentals are all being addressed in a new City of Columbia ordinance. It looks to have stronger rules for both landlords and tenants. News 19's Loren Thomas tells us more.
Gives us another tool just to control these rental units that, you know, are problem areas, quite frankly.
Michael O'Neill, deputy housing official for the Columbia Code Enforcement Agency, says there could be changes for rental properties in the city of Columbia as early as July.
It requires people to register and have a checklist to make sure that these properties are up to code.
That registration could cost property owners $25 a year and also enforces a citation system where points are accumulated for different violations. If a property has 15 points in a year, then that permit could be revoked and the landlord could no longer rent that property. As for tenants who are responsible for the violations, they could be evicted by the property owner. O'Neill also says the proposed ordinance will require that a landlord representative live within 45 miles of Columbia.
As people own property, but they may live in New York or California, and it's difficult to get them to do things. With this new ordinance, we'll have an in-town representative that we can contact.
This ordinance is an extension of the new nuisance ordinance in place that speeds up the process when it comes to fixing properties that are not up to code. Attorney Philip Creel, who deals with leasing law, says he's looking forward to the changes.
We're optimistic that it's going to provide a little more structure for the courts to be able to get landlords to maintain their property.
I'm just hoping that it'll pass, and that way we can move forward.
In Columbia, Loren Thomas, News 19, WLTX.
And the council will have their first reading of this ordinance next Tuesday.